What's up, YouTube? This is the Zoom R20. I got this and unboxed it yesterday, but I've had about a couple hours on it messing around. I want to show you what I figured out. Let me go back to the home screen. I made a song today, and I'll show you how I did it. If I can figure out how to get out of this menu. Okay. I gotta change the LCD brightness because you can't see anything. There we go. Okay, I think that picks up better. So when you turn this thing on, you're going to get set date and time, which is pretty easy. And then you have three formats you can choose from, like year, month, date is what I do. But for everything else, let's see. I just want to show you this. It says templates right there. Let me make sure you can see that. So this is just automatically gives you a beat in a project if you hit create. So I haven't been using that. I've just been using the drum thing in here. Let's start with settings. System settings is date and time, LCD brightness, auto power off, audio interface. Let me show you what that is. That is stereo mix using this USB-C. You can do a stereo send to your computer, or you can do all the multi-track send to the computer. So if you're using GarageBand or some studio or something like that, that would be ideal. All right, let me go back. Let's see. Factory reset, firmware version, SD card is an option. It just tells you how much space you got. I've got 175 out of this one. You can test it, you can format it. You got reader, US MIDI keyboard function. If you want to plug in a USB MIDI keyboard, you can do that. Bluetooth is the option for this trapdoor right here. That Zoom makes a special thing that goes in there that you can control this with your telephone or some kind of iOS system. So that's system menu. So let me show you how I made the project that I did today. This is it right here. I'm gonna open it. Okay. This project has 6 tracks, and this is how I did it. I started out with a rhythm guitar track, which is number 4, but I had it in number 1. So let me show you what that is and how I did it. This button right here takes you to this menu where you have your 1 through 16 channels. Now, how do you access 1 through 16 when you only have 8 inputs? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This button right here that says 1 through 8, you touch it and it says 9 through 16, which opens up another 8 banks of this. It's not going to let me do the drum track. I'll show you that in a different, when we do a new track. But let me just show you on any of these tracks right here. We have this button right here with these sliders. This takes it into mode where you can see all 16 channels, and you can mix it live while it's playing and playing back and recording. And you can toggle between channel 1 through 8 and 9 through 16. To mix this down, all these tracks are set the way I like them right here. You hit the mix down button, and you see this white cursor right here. If I hit stop twice, it goes back to 0. That's a good feature, especially when you expand the screen out. You want to go back all the way to the beginning, and you're at the end, just hit stop twice. So anyways, on mix down, you hit record, and that white little thing will turn red, and it's actually putting the track on your SD card. I'll just show you real quick what it looks like. I'm gonna hit this stop button. See, it's red. And then you know it's mixing down. So disarm that. Let's go through. Let's do a new track. I'm gonna hit settings. I'm gonna hit projects, and then new project. And let me show you what details has on it. Details just has the tempo and the time signature, which is 3444 or 58. You can do 16 or 24-bit depth, and then create. So we've got a new track open right here. You have to record anything, you have to arm a track. And the song I just made today, minus the drums, I recorded every one of them through this right here, through the first track. And then I drug it to a different track over here. But let me show you. So this on one right here, what I started out with was my putting in my drum track. So I hit number 5 because it's low and out of the way. This is a drum button, little drum kit. Hit that right there. Now, this other little tab right here looks like a filing cabinet. Hit that, and you'll get different drum beats. And you can play these beats, but they're all in 120 beats per minute. But so let's say we want to keep that beat. I'm going to select it. And it's going to put it on my track. So it only does it for like so many measures. To make it go further, you just tap it and then drag it. And you can make it as long as you want. And say I get to here, I want to change beats. Well, I move my top cursor over to here, right there. And then I'm going to hit the filing cabinet again. And let's just do this one. Add it on the end there. So I'm going to hit, you can hit stop twice and go all the way back, or you can hold down rewind and go all the way back. But here's what our beat sounds like now. So you can hear it change beats. I also have the click track on. You can turn that on and off. And I'm just in play mode. I wasn't recording, because when you put the drums on there, you're not recording anything actually. So say we got a microphone in number 1 right here. We arm the track, turn this peak, put your slider to unity, master to unity, turn this peak all the way, turn your gain knob all the way up until it flashes this peak light right here, and then back it off to where it don't hit that peak light. And I found with vocals, I use a pop filter so I'm not on the mic, and this is all the way up for me with using a vocal mic. So that being said, we're in track 1. Let's go to track 1. It highlights gray. We're going to hit the filing cabinet, and it's telling me that I'm already using an effect in a different thing, but you always just close that. If you scroll down, there's 40 presets, and then 10 user presets. And the one I like for vocals is vocal lead. So we'll select that. We go back. Oh, let me show you something else on that. This is a really neat feature for guitar and stuff like that. So it says vocal lead right here. These sliders over here, if you hit them, you have a chromatic tuner. It'll do chromatic, it'll do just straight guitar. You can do drop, you can go down a half step if you want to do G sharp, whatever you want to go. It goes by half steps. You got a bass tuner, you got open A tuning, open D tuning, open E tuning, open G, and then DAD, GAD tuning, and then back to chromatic. It's right now at 440 hertz, which is standard tuning, but it'll go down 5 or it'll go over, so you can tune between 335 to 445 hertz. But the tuner's a real nice feature. So we're back on this. This is the preset that we got, and here's the slider. We change it. These are the boxes in that they're using in here. If you want to change one, you touch it, and you see the slider. It'll tell you effect on and off, what kind. It's a delay, the time, the feedback, the balance, and the tail on and off. And each one of these boxes you can mess with like that. Frequency, Q1, gain, Q2, gain 2, level. Turn the effect on and off. What effect is it? You hit this box. There's just tons of boxes to choose from. I'm going to scroll down here and show you. It's amps, it's cabinets, it's simulators, it's effects. It's all the stuff you could want. All right. What else on this? Oh, patch level. Obviously, if you want to make your own patch, you hit copy right here, and that will send it to. It'll open up the banks where you have your user presets, and you can pick one of those, or you can override this patch itself if you want to. So really you have 50 presets that you have access to if you change them. But so this is what you don't want to do. I figured out. If you hit this, there's a track setting here. This is a universal track setting, and it sets the track all the time. Like if you're always going to be using track 1 for vocals, that would be fine, or however you designate it. But I use, like, I'll plug everything into one track and then I'll scoot it. And speaking of scooting, this is how you scoot. You highlight and you can just drag. I don't know if it'll let me do it on drums. No, drums won't do it. Wherever you put drums are, that's where they are. So let's record on track 1 just a little bit. We'll double stop and we'll go back and we're recording. Alright, we can have our click on too. I like doing the rhythm track with a click and then putting the drums on there, because I know where the drums start and stop for the choruses and the vocals and stuff like this. So we can rewind. There's nothing actually on that track, but again, it has to be armed. I told you how to set the level. High Z right here is for active pickups straight in. If you have active bass, you'll switch this on high Z. You have 4 channels available for phantom power, and they're in groups of 2. Let's see what else I can tell you. I don't know much about this keyboard section, but it does, like them pro recording tools, when you have the notes in there, you can see them little hyphens all over. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. Here's your counter. This is an important button. Right beside that filing cabinet, this automatically defaults to 120. And it tells you what time signature, 4/4. Hope you can see that. Right here. So, not every song is in 120. You hit that, and then you're in this project settings menu, which is the same as from the home page when you're starting a thing, but this slider right here changes your beats per minute for your click track, and again your signature, click on and off. If you want a pre-count, I've been using this. It's 2 bars, and it clicks I guess 8 times and then starts recording. You have the option of what kind of click sound you like. There's bell, click, stick, cowbell, and high. O is the default one. This is an important slider right here. Click level for headphones. Like, I have to crank this up to 90. And then I have to back off, like if I'm micing, say, a bass or a guitar amp, I will have to back it off on here. Your gain is just for the input. The slider on the channel when you're recording affects how much you hear, and same with master, but it doesn't affect the record level. You can only affect the record level after you've recorded the channel and you're adjusting it post recording. But oh, and this is a great feature. This snap changes, like I told you, all them drum beats are in 120 default. Snap makes it go to whatever beats per minute you have selected here, like 80. And I'm curious if it'll do it after we've already recorded it. So now you can see it's on 89.5 beats per minute. Let's see if it changed. Alright. So since we've already done the drums, it's not going to change the tempo. So let's get rid of them. You tap it, it'll highlight white, and then you tap it again, and there is a delete, split, and copy. I just delete it, and it says, are you sure? Execute means okay. So that was different, but we'll delete that one too. We'll do a new one. So since we're at 89 beats now, this is our tempo. And on the first beat with the click, it's a louder, stronger beat. It's boom, 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 if you know what I mean. Alright, let me delete that one. Let me see if this will put in drums with I want to put drums on here. Alright, so it's putting drums on first. Let's see, we'll hit our envelope. Let's just do, let's do this. See what this is. Alright, we're going to add that one on there. Alright, and it added it where I had this cursor. See, I didn't have this at the beginning, so that's something to keep in mind too. And I want to show you also about dragging these tracks. So Let's go all the way back, double stop. I can highlight this, touch either one of them, and I can drag it back. And I can highlight it again, and I can make it go as long as I want. But here's what we got now. Let's see if it's with the click. Yeah. So it's now playing. That's what that sync button thing was. It's now playing that beat at 180. So let's say we want to use mic 3. Since you can't drag the drums, now I have to move this mic. But we will arm that. We'll get a level on it. Unity, unity. If I want to do an effect, I go to this file. This is gray highlighted. I go to this filing cabinet. It's telling me I'm already using the effect on number 1. Oh, yeah. I want to show you something about that too. So let's just say vocal lead for this channel. And let's go back and record something. So armed, we can punch in too. So that's our count off. I can cut my click off. I can stop recording on that channel and it's still playing. And then play also works as a pause button or stop button. Okay, so what I wanted to show you is, you hear how crappy the drums sound? They've got an effect on there. So I'm gonna go to here and let's see here. Rhythm loops. No. So in this case, I am gonna have to go to this other menu I was telling you not to use. Let me see. Alright, let's see track settings. Track 1 and 2, it's saying it's got drums. Let's see what send effects on here. Okay. Alright, that's good. It took it off. If the drums sound crappy, when you slow them down, then they have an effect on them. So go in there and make sure that they ain't got an effect. And they won't sound terrible. But this is what we recorded on track 3. Let's go back and let's just play. Now, I don't have to move my mic anymore. I can move this channel, which is very nice. You just highlight it and you drag it. And this color corresponds to these knobs, so you know which knob is which. Pretty much. This is supposed to be brown, but it looks more orange. But and also you can put it anywhere on the thing you want. So let me show you another feature of this. I highlight it, I tap it again, I can split it. It's going to split it wherever this cursor is. Let me hit it again. I split it. You see it split right there. Then I have access to drag this. Say I do a real good chorus, or a good vocal part, and I want to repeat it for every chorus. You can split it, and you can. This thing is exactly this same thing. And you see that line in there? That's where you know how long this is, where it stops, if that makes sense. And to delete, we'll hit again. We can delete there. Execute. There's the copy feature. Okay. Say I want to copy this one. We'll hit it again. Copy. Oops. Copy. And paste. This is how you add your extra chorus part here. You can import audio files that you put on your SD card slot here. Speaking of SD card, this has a capacity for a SDXC, I think it is. It'll go up to 512 megabytes. So I saw another video where it said it went up to a terabyte, but that's not what the manual says. So to get out of there, we just tap anywhere on the screen. There is an undo button, but it doesn't keep going back as far. Like, say you accidentally deleted something, you can't get it back. It's gone. You got to redo it, which is a pain. And let me show you something else. When you're using this screen as a widescreen right here, say I want to move this one down, but I think I'm moving the whole vocal tracks. No, you're not. You're only moving what's highlighted. So the way I found around that is you make it small where you can see all the tracks. Then you can see if there's another thing in this bar, you move it all down. Now, one thing that's tricky about moving it down, I'll tell you, is you can get it off time because it'll go forward and backwards. So use your cursor as your alignment wherever you want it. Say we want to put it there. While you're listening back, you grab this cursor and where you want to start with the new part, then you can line that up pretty easy. Let's see. Oh, mix down. All right, say I want to mix this down. I've already showed you that on the part, but this is a new song. I can hit stop twice and go back to the beginning. I hit that slider looking button right there. And here's the tracks I've recorded. Now, because I'm on 1 through 8, they're all actually up at unity. Now, to move those, I have to slide these up. You see how they're sliding in real time? You have to actually capture the highlighted part to be able to move it. So when you go from this screen where you're recording, whatever level this is that you recorded it at, when you come over here, unless you've changed it for the first time, it's going to be at the level that's going to be these highlighted buttons. So then you have to move it to capture them, then you can move them. Now, like if there's nothing on the track, it doesn't matter if these are up. But it's kind of different. Now, drums, it does 2 channels automatically, like I told you. And either one of these will move both of the drums. Like the drums are on channel 1 and 2. Either fader moves these in unison. Like you can't do a left and right level with the drums. So this is our vocal track. There's nothing on this one. Let me just show you what we've got recorded. I'll bring the drums up. Wait a minute. I gotta go back to the beginning. There's really nothing on this channel. The one is just a hot mic. But, so you see, there's 2 clipping bars here. It just shows one red one right now, but when you get right before it, there's another red bar. So this red bar will stay on if it clips and you hit it. And you can see over on the master, it has them red bars too. So typically everything's green, and then it gets a little more green. Let me see. It gets lighter green. Sorry, I know that's loud, but you can see these 2 red bars now where it's clipped. That's going to distort when you do a mix down. Like I told you, do mix down, you hit this, And you have to go back to the beginning to do a mix down. You have to listen to the whole song, hit record, this turns red, gotta listen to the whole thing, and once the whole thing's over, then you hit stop. And it's copied this, what I just did, on the SD card right now, because this was red. And in real time as you're mixing, you can use your faders. If you have a part where you accidentally hit the strings or something, you can cut it off and then bring it back up where you know it's good. Let's go back to the tracks. I want to show you some more features on here. Track levels. I think I showed you this, but track settings. This is where you find your pan under track settings. But oh, and you also have your, this is important for bass and stuff, your compressor, limiter, noise gate. If you want to link the channel in stereo, I think it'll take up 2 channels. Okay, can't link that track. But here's your, you click compressor, say, there's your threshold, attack time, release time. Limiter has the same thing, and so does noise gate. Or you can cut it off. Your send level, your low, middle, high EQs on here, and that's under track settings. You just tap twice. Whoop. You tap on the track thing, on the number. And then we can delete that track. Execute, gone. So this is just a quick, brief overview. I'll put a link to the song I just recorded today with it. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And any questions you might have, leave those too. If you need, as I'm learning this, if you need more in-depth something, I'd be happy to look at it for you. Have a good day.